Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel and to a brand new episode of Speaking Saturdays. We've got a new set of questions for you, so let's get started. Part 1. When do you send gifts? Normally I send gifts when someone's got a birthday coming up, or sometimes of course you also have these major festivals like Christmas and New Year's and so on. Occasionally, though, I've been known to send gifts when there's just a really good discount on something, because I'm always looking out for sales and, things like that. I always have my eye on, like, what are the prices for things that I need or my family members need. So, yeah. When was the last time you received a gift? Oh, that was on my birthday when my mom presented me with this Yamaha keyboard. I've always wanted a keyboard. In fact, I had a keyboard as a child, but it just had 36 keys. So last year I got this amazing keyboard. It's like, I think it's got 76 keys. It's like super heavy and it's just amazing. So that was wonderful. I love gifts that, it's not just something that looks good, but like something that's really useful. So yeah, and I've, made a lot of progress. Of course, not as much as I should have, but I love playing, the keyboard. Have you received a gift you didn't like? I'd have to really think about that. Normally, it's just people closest to you that give you gifts. So the likelihood that they get something wrong is not like zero, but really uncommon. So for me, at least, I don't really remember getting a gift that I didn't like. I've always gotten things that I've enjoyed. I think part of it is just because I have a grateful nature. So, even if it's like something that I maybe would not have chosen, I still find joy in it. How do you feel when you receive a gift? Oh, I'm always overjoyed. I'm always happy. I appreciate that someone took the time out to decide to get this thing. Of course, there's also the time aspect, the financial aspect, the fact that they're generous with both. I think that is a great thing. It's also, it's hard to pick a gift for people. It's it's not easy at all. So that is also something that I keep in mind, that this person knows you so well that they're so considerate that they really thought about, okay, what does this person need? And then they gifted you that. So that's something I always have in mind. All right, now let's look at our part 2 question. Talk about a book you have never read but you would like to read. You should say how well known it is, why you'd like to read it, why you've never read it before, and explain how you think it will compare to other books you have read. Okay, so the book that I've always wanted to read, well, okay, not always, but since I think about 2 years, maybe, 2 years now, is this book called, loosely translated from Italian, it is the last letters of Jacopo Ortis. And, what's funny is this book was actually recommended to me by my Italian professor at the time because I loved The Sorrows of Young Werther by Goethe. That's like one of my favorite books. It's also one of my favorite operas, but that's another thing entirely. So I loved Werther, and I told my professor, because I think it came up like during a lesson about the books that we'd read. And so I was like, yeah, I loved Werther. And so he's like, wow, if you like Werther, then you love the last letters of Jacopo Ortis. And so I was like, wow, that's really cool. And I looked up, the synopsis on Wikipedia, and I was like, wow, this really does look amazing. It's not exactly, it's in fact a classic of Italian literature, but it's not like that well known. Like, if you compare it with something like Goethe's Faust or something like that, because that's like super well known, right? Or anything by Shakespeare, of course, that's in English. Those are like super well known, but this one isn't really that well known unless you're Italian or, you speak Italian. So yeah, so I really wanted to I got my hands on it. I have a copy of the book, but again, I want to read it in Italian. Now the problem is that my Italian is not that good yet. And this is a book that was written, I think, in the 1700s or the 1800s. So you know how it is. Even in English, really old books will have, a different kind of style of writing, of expression. So that's kind of concerning, and that's why I've kind of like held off on it. Also, also because I want to like really enjoy it. I want to be in the right frame of mind when I read it. And so that's why I've kind of been holding off, because you do have to be a little bit advanced in Italian to really be able to read and understand. And I'm also of course, there's many tools you can use that will, convert words into English for you. But I don't want to like do it that way. I kind of just want to really enjoy it in the original language. But it'll take me a little bit of time, like 6 or so months, before my Italian is at a good enough level to really appreciate, the language of the book. So that's why I've been holding off on it. But I think I'm gonna love it. It's just a question of being in the right frame of mind, and of course knowing the language much better than I do at the moment. Okay, with that being done, let's go on to part 3. Do people read more nowadays? I would say, like, what kind of reading? Because I think I read somewhere that people read a lot less nowadays, but then, like when we're on our phones or computers, there is a lot of reading that we do, whether it's on social media, whether it's, just because it's digital instead of being physical, like books and newspapers, doesn't necessarily mean that people read less. So, I don't really know, but I would guess that people read less just because the sales of books, both physical and digital, are not the same as they used to be like 20 years ago. I still remember like my childhood, like we didn't have much entertainment. Like the internet, we got the internet sometime in the mid 2000s. So like before that, what did you do for entertainment? Of course you had the TV, but then like books were a big thing, and nowadays I hardly ever like see people recommend books or, even read books and stuff like that. So I think people read a lot less nowadays, which is kind of sad if you think about it. Do you read before going to bed? I do sometimes. Now, most of the time though, when I'm like, going to bed, I'm already tired. Like that's when it's only when I really feel tired that I go to bed. So like reading before going to bed, like sometimes I do it like on my phone. It's super comfortable really. But most of the time I kind of need to be in the right frame of mind. I need to like have an energy, right, to read and like understand what I'm reading. So I don't usually do that, but I'll occasionally have like moments where I enjoy reading before I go to sleep. Do you enjoy reading the traditional literature of your country? So my country has a ton of languages, and so there really is no fixed traditional literature. Like let's say for Germany you have Faust, and you have Werther, and you have all these things. But my country doesn't really have like a solid like one, not one, but like a collection of traditional classics, because there's so many languages, it's not like one single language. So and my own, like honestly English is my first language, so it's kind of a weird situation to be in. I don't really read. I cannot read my mother tongue. Take that as you will. So no, I don't really enjoy it. I've never read anything traditional, to be entirely honest with you. How will ebooks affect paper books? I don't think will should even be in the question, because ebooks have been around for, I would say, 20 years, because the internet has been like widespread since the mid 2000s, and ebooks, Amazon's always been there for ebooks and stuff too. So we've already seen like the sales of physical books are going down. People prefer to, because again, if you buy like 100 books, that's going to take up space in your home. And people nowadays live in smaller, like they live in apartments instead of homes, or they live in smaller apartments, or they move constantly. There's a lot more mobility. So like moving every single time, packing all of your books, that's going to be a headache, let's be honest. But if you want to keep like 100 books on your computer or on your phone, that's like super easy to do. It barely takes up any space. So naturally, people who, there's always going to be people who appreciate having a physical book, but I think ebooks really have dominated already. Most sales, I would say, are probably ebooks instead of paper books. Because again, you order a paper book, it takes some time to reach you. But you can just download an ebook in like a few seconds. Depends on your internet connection, of course. So yeah, I mean, they're kind of winning the game, if you were to think about that. Alright then, that's our test for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to click on the like button and leave a comment in case you have any questions. And we have tons more videos, so don't forget to check out our playlist. Until then, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!